In this video, I will show you how to make a lockpicking system in Minecraft Java Edition 1.17. So first, let me demonstrate how it works. Here we have a locked door, and in our inventory we have two lockpicks. So to attempt to pick this lock, we just have to put the lockpick in the middle of it. This now transports us to the lockpicking minigame. The goal of the minigame is to get to the other side by following the green concrete without stepping on the black concrete, because if we step on the black concrete, we fail the lockpicking minigame, and of course our lockpick breaks. Now let's actually try to complete the lockpicking minigame. So all we have to do is follow the green concrete, and once we step on the white concrete, lockpicking is successful and the door is now unlocked. Now let me show you how it works. So first of all, we need to detect when there is a lockpick in the middle of the lock. We do this by checking for the block that is a dropper on the coordinates that we have set. Then we are checking for items in slot 4B. Slot 4B represents the middle slot. It's checking for a singular stick with a very specific name. And this name is of course lockpick with italics set to false. If this condition is true, then it's teleporting a player who doesn't have a tag picking to the lockpicking minigame. If that is successful, then it adds the tag picking to the player. And then it just replaces the dropper which has a lockpick in it with an empty one. The command for getting the actual lockpick will be in the description. Next up, we have the blindness effect that the player has inside the lockpicking minigame. This is part of the reason why we needed the picking tag, because now we can check for the player who has the picking tag, which means they are inside the lockpicking minigame. And we can give them blindness for a short period of time constantly. This command is exactly the same. It's the same execute command texting for the player with the tag picking, however this time it is giving them night vision. However, this is not entirely necessary and is just for the purpose of the video. These commands here test what happens when the player fails the minigame. So first we need to detect that the player actually failed the minigame. We do that by once again checking a player with the tag picking. Then it's checking if the block underneath the player is black concrete. If this condition is true, then it teleports the player out of the lockpicking minigame and back in front of the door. After that, we remove the tag picking from the player. And finally, this is just a message telling the player that they suck and should uninstall the game. And this last set of command blocks tests what happens when the players win the lockpicking minigame. So, the first command, we have a similar thing happening as in the last block. It's once again checking for the player with the tag picking. However, this time, instead of checking for black concrete underneath the player, it's checking for white concrete. If this condition is true, it once again teleports the player out of the lockpicking minigame and back in front of the door. After that, same as before, it removes the tag picking from the player. However, after that, it sets the block underneath the door to redstone torch so that the iron door can be powered and that it opens. And finally, we have a tell raw message once again, this time telling the player that they were successful at lockpicking. If you think that the lockpicking minigame is too easy, you can always spice it up by adding more darker blocks to confuse the player or add a timer. It's all up to you. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe to boost me in the algorithm. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.